LeBron and Pierce and Garnett. This one at the AAA down here in South Florida. Stick around. Ooh. For the fifth time in the last 7 years,
well, the hard holler from down there
features LeBron James, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett, and all the emotion that goes with it. That stretch began when LeBron was in Cleveland. Pierce and KG were Celtics. It continued when LeBron went to Miami, and it continued Tuesday with Pierce and Garnett wearing Brooklyn across their chest. Game 1, Nets and Heat, Eastern Conference semis, American Airlines Arena. It's like a beautiful night down there in South Florida.
Just because it's in Miami, Ernie.
I know. And it's always nice.
That's my point.
Yeah, man. It's not a bad place.
Miami 32-9 at home during the regular season. Won both games against the Bobcats in the first round.
I was there Friday.
Shuttlesworth had a big night tonight.
Yeah, I was there Friday. Shout out to Prime 112. My man.
Miles.
My man Miles.
Layup.
K. Smith hollering at you, boy.
I'll see you this Friday, Miles.
Did you pay for anything, Kenny?
Oh,
Look at Ray Allen.
Had a
Ray Allen goes
flashback. He was
down.
in a.
Ooh.
Oh, way to touch him up, KG.
Remember me? I mean, this game was, just Miami pace.
Oh.
Understand, right after the first about 6 minutes of the game.
Brooklyn hung around in
the first 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And then after that, Miami played at their pace. So even when this game was, got to cut the 3 at halftime.
Valdosta.
Long bomb.
Valdosta.
You never thought that it was in doubt.
Black people say Dosta, Ernie.
46,
Valdosta.
oh, my bad. 46-43 going to the third. Shane Battier got the start tonight.
Good look, LeBron.
How old is
all
Shane
effort
Battier?
right there.
He feel right at home playing against all these other geezers out there.
Chris Bosh had a 15-11 night.
What about Shane?
Oh.
He's an old geezer, too.
Okay.
And it was a 15-2 run here in the third that did in Brooklyn.
Tell you what, Ray Allen and Paul Pierce and Garnett call him kid.
Watch LeBron here.
Oh, that's
come on,
bully
man.
ball
That's
right
not
there.
fair.
Too big, too strong. Move, little man. Get out the way. That's how I used to do you, Chuck.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, yes,
you
I
look,
did.
you look like you
yes,
barbecue
I did.
chicken when you tried to guard me.
LeBron again for 2 more of
I
his
wasn't known for defense.
22.
Clearly.
I was known for busting you up, though.
Could he have made the Olympic team?
No, they had no chance.
Yes, I did.
That's why we took Christian Laettner.
Yeah, okay.
Ray Allen had 13 in the Charlotte series, had 19 in the opener of this one.
Way to set him up, Kenny.
I'm just asking, man.
Hey, not on that.
Nice
This
lob,
game is
Kenny.
this is a blowout, man. These games are blowouts, man.
Nice
So,
lob, Kenny.
I'm just asking.
You weren't even the second choice.
Who was?
Darren Williams
Alonzo
puts it
Mourning?
to 13. And Kevin Garnett.
Coaching for game 2.
Yep.
Coaching
in
for game
between
2.
The third and the fourth. And D. Wade.
He
Off the
dunked that.
turnover.
That's a walk. You got away with one.
And Shaq, this is for you. A couple of Birdmans.
Watch this. Batman with the activity. Something Chuck could never do, block a shot.
Oh, good move, good pass,
Oh,
Ray.
Batman! He hurt his feather on that one. Get your feathers fixed, Breadman, we need you.
Right feather.
Breadman, we need you.
107-96. All Miami in the opener. They're now 40-7 when they shoot 50%. Brooklyn, 11 assists, 13 turnovers. So the two teams that lost tonight both had more turnovers than assists. More on game 1 from Rachel Nichols.
LeBron, you are now the youngest ever to reach 4,000 playoff points, but you also got the win in game 1. I can guess which one was more important to you tonight.
You definitely know which one was more important, Rachel, and it was great that we was able to come out the way we did after being off 8 days. We got a lot of work in. You know, we had 8 days off from not playing a basketball game, but Spo got us in the gym. Ourselves got each other in the gym. We held each other accountable throughout the layoff, and it proved tonight.
We have a new MVP, but when you talk about the best players in the world, he's 1A, 1B, with Durant. So when he gets in the post, he can cause a problem because of his strength and his IQ. He knows how, if someone doubles, he knows who the open guy is. So we just got to make it a little tougher on him.
You guys got asked the 4-0 question so many times in the last few days. Why didn't it ultimately seem to matter with you guys at all? especially after you'd beaten
Well, it
everybody
does
else.
matter. I mean, it's not something that you can just totally brush off. You know, I said it a couple days ago. It depends on what side you're on. We would say it doesn't matter. They're saying it does matter. They still have an opportunity to do what they came to do, and we have to do whatever we have to do in the next 2 days to make sure they don't.
I mean, you got to think about if you're a competitor and you keep hearing that over and over, and you got time to rest and sit back and watch the team and continue to hear that. You got to think competitive juices is going to just, going to meet that. And I just thought, with that being, kind of fire or gasoline on the fire, they came out, they won at home like they were supposed to. Now it's our job to try to steal one in game 2. But we got to do it with some aggression. We got to do it with, putting them on their heels, and I feel like attacking them a little more than we did tonight.
Time for a Coors Light cold hard facts. Game 1 goes to Miami, 107-86. So Brooklyn sweeps the regular season 4-0 by a total of 12 points. Miami wins game 1 by 21. And Kevin Garnett, here's a cold hard fact, scoreless for the first time in a playoff game. This was playoff game number 139 in his career. What's the cold hard reality of this series, Charles?
The Heat is going to beat these guys either 4-zip or 4-1. Brooklyn got no chance of beating them. And I think, everybody sit around and talk about all that regular season stuff. And the reason I don't think the regular season matters is in 2 of those games, Dwayne Wade didn't play. And then probably in those other 2, I don't even know it, he probably was either just coming back or took some time off. They're in full bloom right now. And when you look at Brooklyn, they don't have an advantage anywhere. When you get in the playoffs, you have to have an advantage, a matchup you can exploit. There's not one single matchup that Brooklyn has against the Heat. And I think it's going to be a quick, easy series.
The look on your face is you sort of agree but aren't totally sold on
because,
that?
I'm going to take some of the things he says about some other series. I don't know if you could take one game and that's going to transfer over all the time. I'm not 100% sure of that. I do think there's a reason why they won 4 times. I think that more than just Dwayne Wade being out. And I think at times Joe Johnson will have an advantage. I think that when you move him to the 3 spot and you have Battier or Rashard Lewis or one of those guys coming in, guarding him, or you move him to the 2 spot when Ray Allen is at the 2, then all of a sudden you have an advantage. He's 6'8" with handle skills. So you could create some matchups, and that's what he did in Toronto. Those guys, Ross and DeRozan, those are super athletic defensive players that at times he had his way with. So I could see him having his way in this series for more than one game, which would create a couple baskets more for Pierce, a couple baskets more for Williams, a couple baskets more for Bland and everyone else. So I think that it's going to be tougher. I still think Miami's a better team, but I think it will be much tougher.
You know what KG and Paul Pierce are like come playoff time? Describe their intensity, their approach at this time of year.
They're very focused. They're very different animals. Let's not forget this team was built for this series right here. At the beginning of the year, Kenny and myself, we thought that Brooklyn could contend or possibly beat Miami. However, I need the 4 amigos to play well. I said it last week. One need to be in the high 20s, couple need to be in the high teens. So, you had Joe Johnson at 17, Deron Williams at 17. Paul Pierce only had 8. It's not enough for Paul. Paul's been in this situation before. He has a championship on his belt. And at certain times, he can take over again. So definitely need more from him. And I need a few, good minutes from KG. Chuck made an interesting point where he says Miami has the advantage. Miami does have a little bit of advantage, but Joe Johnson can match up with Dwayne. KG, if he's playing well, can possibly slow down the Chris Bosh. So it's not, even though Miami has a better lineup, it's not like a 10-1 lineup. I think it's a 10-8 lineup if the 4 amigos play very well. But they have to play well to even contend. If not, tonight's going to be just like this.
The one thing that makes LeBron James the best player in the game, he can. Remember when he played in the finals a few years ago against Oklahoma City? Kevin Durant's the second best basketball player in the world. LeBron can guard him. He can guard Joe Johnson easier. He can guard Joe Johnson. So that stuff they were doing against Toronto, where Joe Johnson was dominating, that won't work against the Heat. He is their closer, but he won't be able to score against LeBron. That's what makes LeBron such a unique player. There's not anybody on the planet he can't guard unless it's a center. If he's physical enough to guard a Kevin Durant, he's quick enough to guard a Joe Johnson. But think about it. Remember a few years ago, he guarded Derrick Rose and took the MVP out of the series. That's the thing that makes LeBron so unique. Unless you have big guys, you're not going to beat the Miami Heat. What are the only teams that give the Miami Heat trouble? Roy Hibbert, David West, and those are the only time. You can't beat them with perimeter players. LeBron's going to shut down any perimeter player.
It's a 107-86 verdict in Game 1 in Miami. The Heat 5-0 now in the postseason, 3-0 in their gym. When we come back, an overwhelming day for Kevin Durant. He filled
The Thunder looks to regroup against the Clippers. Tonight at 7 on TNT.
Download the official NBA Game Time app on your phone or tablet's app store right now.
Good to see you, Ron. Good to see you. Just try to put a body in as much as you can. Watch the duck in. Watch the duck in. Pump fake before and after shot. Ever since I seen he got game, I thought he couldn't do no wrong.
In terms of the role they've asked, he's been money.
Ray Allen steps in, knocks it down.
Ray, good job, Ray. Good job, Ray. Keep going, Jesus.
Good disposition on the ball, man.
You up. I'm in the corner. Don't leave it to chance.
James with Black's backpedaling, doing whatever he wants in the lane. LeBron James now with 14.